Let me tell you something about being in love with your best friend. You learn to hide it. You get really, really good at it. You master the art of laughing when they talk about their crushes. You smile at their wedding. You hold their hand through their heartbreaks and never, not once, tell them that you're breaking too. You become an expert at loving someone in silence. And then one day, they ask you to carry their baby, not because they love you, not because they see you as a partner, but because their wife can't get pregnant and you're the person they trust most in the world. And you say yes. Because you're an idiot. Because you think maybe this will be enough. Maybe giving them a child will fill the hole in your chest where your heart used to be. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. Instead, you end up 6 months pregnant, living in their house after their wife leaves, falling deeper in love with every kick of the baby you'll have to give away in 3 months. My name is Naima Richardson. I'm a labor and delivery nurse. I'm 29 years old. And I'm carrying my best friend's baby while slowly realizing that I'm not just the surrogate. I'm the other woman. This is my story. And I'm warning you right now, it's going to hurt. The pregnancy test sits on the bathroom counter next to my phone, and I'm staring at both like they might explode. 3 pink lines. Triplets? No, wait, that's not how these work. I pick it up again, squinting at the instructions I definitely should have read before peeing on it. 1 line, not pregnant. 2 lines, pregnant. 3 lines, you're an idiot who bought the expensive test that shows conception date. 3+ weeks. I laugh. It comes out bitter and sharp, echoing off the tile walls of this bathroom that isn't mine. Nothing in this house is mine. Not the Egyptian cotton towels. Not the rainfall shower. Not the man sleeping in the master bedroom down the hall. Especially not the baby I'm carrying. My phone buzzes. A text from my sister Kendra. Asterisk, did you take it yet? Naima, I swear to God if you're ignoring me. Asterisk. I type back with shaking hands. Asterisk, positive. Asterisk. 3 dots appear immediately. Then, asterisk, oh shit. Does he know you're in love with him yet, or are we still pretending? Asterisk. I don't answer. Instead, I splash cold water on my face and try to remember how I got here. How Naima Richardson, who graduated top of her nursing class, who delivers babies for a living, who knows better than anyone how complicated this gets, how did I end up pregnant with my best friend's baby while living in his house after his wife abandoned us both? The answer is simple, really. I've been in love with Jae-min for 15 years, and I'm an idiot. It started in med school. Well, nursing school for me, med school for him, same hospital, same exhausted 22-year-olds running on caffeine and denial. I was in the cafeteria at 2 in the morning, crying over a pediatrics exam I definitely failed, when he sat down across from me with 2 cups of coffee. You look like you need this more than I do, he said, sliding one toward me. I looked up at him, really looked. Korean guy, tired eyes, smile that made my stomach flip. I don't even know you. Jae-min, 3rd-year med student. Currently failing cardiology.
Naima.
2nd-year nursing. Currently failing everything. He laughed. Liar. I've seen you in the pediatric ward. You're the one all the babies stop crying for. And that was it. That was the moment. I fell in love with him over terrible hospital coffee at 2 in the morning, and I never really stopped. We became inseparable. Study partners. Best friends. The kind of friends where people constantly asked if we were dating, and we'd laugh and say no, God no, we're just friends. Except I was lying. I was lying every single time. I told myself I'd confess during residency. We were working a night shift together, both delirious with exhaustion, and he brought me coffee, still our thing after all those years. We were sitting in the break room, and he said something about how he couldn't imagine getting through this without me, and I thought, this is it. This is the moment. Jae-min, I need to tell you something. He looked at me with those dark eyes, and I chickened out. You're my best friend, I said instead. I don't know what I'd do without you. Something flickered across his face. Disappointment maybe, or relief. I couldn't tell. Same, Naima. You're the most important person in my life. But not in the way I wanted. 3 months later, he started dating Hannah. Another Korean-American doctor, beautiful and brilliant, someone his parents actually approved of. They got engaged within a year. I was a bridesmaid at their wedding, smiling through every photo while dying inside. That was 4 years ago. Naima? I jump, nearly dropping the pregnancy test into the sink. Jae-min's voice carries from the hallway, soft with sleep. It's 6 in the morning. He shouldn't be awake. Just a second, I call out, shoving the test into my toiletry bag. My hands are still shaking. When I open the door, he's standing there in flannel pajama pants and a t-shirt from our med school days. I survived finals, and all I got was this lousy degree. His hair is sticking up on one side. He looks unfairly good for someone who got maybe 4 hours of sleep. You okay? He asks. I heard you moving around.
Fini.
Baby's just active this morning. I press a hand to my belly, 6 months along now, round and obvious. His daughter. The one I agreed to carry because his wife couldn't get pregnant, and I'm apparently a masochist. His eyes go soft, the way they always do when I mention the baby. Can I? I nod because I always nod, even though every time he touches me it hurts. His hand settles on my stomach, warm through my thin sleep shirt. We're standing in the doorway of his guest bathroom, too close, and I can smell his soap and see the exact moment his face transforms when the baby kicks. There she is, he whispers. Good morning, little one. My daughter. I think traitorously. Our daughter. Except she's not mine to keep. In 3 months, I'll give birth and hand her over and go back to my empty apartment and my empty life and pretend my heart isn't shattered into a million pieces. You want breakfast? He asks, hand still on my belly. I was thinking blueberry pancakes. You don't have to cook for me every morning, Jae-min. I know. His thumb moves in a small circle, probably unconsciously. I want to. This is my life now. Playing house with the man I love, carrying his baby, knowing it's all temporary. Knowing that when this is over, he'll find someone else. Someone Korean maybe, someone his mother approves of, someone who isn't me. If you're already feeling this tension, drop a comment and let me know because it only gets more complicated from here. The pancakes are perfect, obviously. Jae-min is one of those infuriating people who's good at everything. Surgery, cooking, assembling IKEA furniture without the instructions. The only thing he's apparently bad at is recognizing when someone is desperately in love with him. So my mom called last night, he says, sliding a plate across the kitchen island. I freeze with my fork halfway to my mouth. Oh, she wants to visit. Meet the baby, she says. Make sure you're being properly cared for. The bitterness in his voice is new. He used to defend his mother's behavior, make excuses. Not anymore. You can tell her I'm fine. I told her she's not welcome until she can speak to you with basic human respect. He stabs at his pancakes. She hung up on me. His mother hates me. That's not an exaggeration or a feeling. She's actually told him to his face that having a black woman carry her grandchild is shameful. That people will talk. That he should have used a proper agency with Korean surrogates. Jae-min, she's your mom. You can't just. Yes, I can. He looks at me, and there's something fierce in his expression. You're carrying my daughter, Naima. You're living in my house because you're doing something incredible for me. If she can't respect that, she can stay away. My heart does something painful. This is why I'm still here, even though every rational part of my brain screams at me to leave. Because he defends me. Because he looks at me like I matter. Because sometimes in moments like this, I can almost pretend he loves me back. Eat, he says, gentler now. You barely touched dinner last night. I wasn't hungry. The baby needs. I know what the baby needs. I'm a labor and delivery nurse, remember? He grins. How could I forget? You only remind me every time I try to be helpful. This is us. This easy banter, this comfortable rhythm. 15 years of friendship have made us fluent in each other. I know he takes his coffee with too much sugar. He knows I can't sleep without a fan running. I know he stress cleans when he's worried about a surgery. He knows I reorganize my bookshelf when I'm anxious. What he doesn't know is that I'm reorganizing my bookshelf every single night because I'm terrified of what happens in 3 months when this arrangement ends. My phone buzzes. Kendra again. Asterisk, girl, you need to tell him. Asterisk. I silence it. Your sister? Jae-min asks.
Yeah.
She's being annoying. So, normal Kendra behavior. He refills my orange juice without asking. You two still on for brunch Sunday?
Probably.
She wants to see the nursery progress. The nursery.
Right.
Another source of exquisite torture. We've been working on it together for the past month. He insisted I help choose everything, paint colors, furniture, decorations. You have better taste than me, he said. What he meant was, you're carrying her. You should have a say. What I heard was, help me build a room for the daughter you'll never raise. The walls are soft sage green. We picked it together, standing in Home Depot for 45 minutes debating between 6 nearly identical shades. There's a white crib that took us 3 hours to assemble because Jae-min refused to admit he'd put the sides on backward. A rocking chair I found at an estate sale, refinished oak with a cushion. I reupholstered myself. He doesn't know I stay in there sometimes after he goes to bed. Sitting in that rocking chair, hand on my belly, pretending this life is mine. I ordered the mobile you liked, he says now. The one with the moons and stars. Should be here Thursday. You didn't have to do that. I wanted to. He says it so easily.
I wanted to.
Like wanting to make me happy is the most natural thing in the world. I want to scream. I want to grab him by the shoulders and shake him and ask how he can be so gentle and attentive and perfect and not realize what he's doing to me. How he can touch my belly with such tenderness, defend me to his mother, build a nursery with me, and still see me as just his friend. Instead, I eat my pancakes and smile and pretend my heart isn't breaking with every kind gesture. I have a shift at the hospital this afternoon, I say, covering for Miranda. You sure you should be working? You're 6 months pregnant, Naima. Women work right up until labor, Jae-min.
I've fine.
I know you're fine. I just worry. Of course he does. Because he's a good man, a good friend, a good father-to-be.
Just not mine.
The hospital is a relief, honestly. For hours of other people's labors, other people's joy, other people's uncomplicated families. I coach a first-time mom through her contractions, hold her hand when she's scared, watch her husband cry when their son is born. This is what I do. I bring babies into the world. I've done it hundreds of times. You'd think I'd be better at managing my own situation. You're glowing, Miranda says when I'm clocking out. She's a fellow nurse, one of the few people who knows about the surrogacy arrangement. When are you due again? March 15th. And then what? You just hand over the baby and go home? I've been asked this question a dozen times in the past 6 months. By friends, family, colleagues. Everyone wants to know the same thing. How can you carry a baby for 9 months and then give it away? The answer I give, it's surrogacy. That's how it works. The real answer, I have no idea how I'm going to survive it. I drive back to Jae-min's house. I still can't think of it as home, even though I've been living here for 3 months. It's a beautiful townhouse in a neighborhood I could never afford. 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, a kitchen that belongs in a magazine. Hannah decorated it. Her taste is everywhere, minimalist, monochrome, expensive. I feel like an intruder every time I walk through the door. Jae-min's car is in the driveway. I wasn't expecting him back until tonight. He had a full surgical schedule. When I walk in, he's in the living room, still in his scrubs, staring at his phone. Hey, I say. You're home early. He looks up, and something in his expression makes my stomach drop. We need to talk. 4 words. We need to talk. The 4 words that never precede anything good. I set my bag down slowly, buying time. What's wrong? Did something happen at the hospital?
No.
Well, yes. Sort of. He runs a hand through his hair, messing it up worse than it already is. Hannah called me today. The world tilts slightly.
Hannah.
His ex-wife. The woman who sent a 3-sentence email 6 weeks ago saying she couldn't do this anymore, filed for divorce, and disappeared. We haven't heard from her since. What did she want? To talk about the baby? About custody arrangements? He's still holding his phone like he might throw it. Her lawyer sent paperwork. She's requesting shared custody. I lower myself onto the couch because my legs suddenly don't work. She left, Jae-min. She said she was done. I know. She can't just. She doesn't get to abandon us and then decides 6 weeks later that she wants back in. The word slips out before I can stop it.
Us.
Like I'm part of this. Like this baby is mine too. Jae-min sits down next to me, close enough that our knees touch. My lawyer says she has a case. She's still legally the intended mother on the surrogacy contract. The divorce isn't final yet. This is insane. I know. He drops his head into his hands.
I'm sorry, Naima.
I never thought. I didn't think she'd do this. I should comfort him, pat his shoulder, tell him it'll be okay, be the supportive friend I've always been. Instead, I say, why did she really leave? He goes very still. What? You told me she couldn't handle the stress, that the infertility issues and the surrogacy were too much. But that doesn't make sense, Jae-min. We were 6 months in, halfway done.
Why leave then?
The silence stretches between us, heavy and suffocating. I don't know, he finally says. He's lying. I can tell because in 15 years of friendship, I've learned to read every micro-expression on his face. The slight tightening around his eyes.
The way he won't look at me.
Jae-min. She said I was different with you, he says quietly. That I looked at you differently than I looked at her. That the surrogacy was making it obvious. My heart stops. Completely stops. What does that mean? I don't know. She wouldn't explain. He finally meets my eyes. Do I look at you differently?
Yes. God, yes.
Sometimes I catch him watching me with this expression I can't decode, something soft and longing and confused all at once. But I can't say that. I can't tell him that I catalog every glance, every touch, every moment of tenderness, and replay them late at night when I can't sleep. We're friends, I say instead. Of course you look at me differently than your wife. Ex-wife, I think.
Soon.
He nods slowly, like he's trying to convince himself.
Right.
Friends. The word feels like a knife. My phone buzzes. Kendra, stop being a coward and tell him. I silence it again. Your sister really wants to talk to you, Jae-min observes. She's being dramatic.
About what?
About the fact that I'm in love with you and carrying your baby and living in your house and slowly losing my mind. Nothing important. He looks like he wants to push, but his phone rings. He glances at the screen and his jaw tightens. It's my mother. You should take it. I really shouldn't. But he answers anyway, switching to Korean. I don't speak it fluently, but I've picked up enough over the years to understand the tone. She's angry. He's angry back. I hear my name Naima spat out like a curse. He stands, pacing toward the window. The conversation gets heated. He says something sharp and final, then hangs up. Let me guess, I say. She's thrilled about Hannah wanting custody. She thinks it's a sign that I should reconcile with Hannah. Keep the family together. His laugh is bitter. She actually said, this is what happens when you let that black woman into your home. The words land like a slap, even though they're not new. His mother has made her feelings abundantly clear from the beginning. When Jae-min first told his parents about the surrogacy arrangement, his mother cried. Not tears of joy, tears of shame. I'm sorry, I say, because what else is there to say? Stop apologizing for existing, Naima. He turns to face me, and there's something fierce in his expression. You're doing something incredible. You're carrying my daughter because Hannah couldn't, and because you have the biggest heart of anyone I know. My mother's racism is not your burden to carry. But it affects you. Your relationship with your family is my problem, not yours. He crosses back to the couch, sits closer this time. I need you to understand something. Whatever happens with Hannah, whatever my mother says, you're not going anywhere. I won't let them push you out. Jae-min, if Hannah gets custody, then we'll figure it out. Together. His hand finds mine, threading our fingers together. It's not the first time we've held hands. We've been doing it since med school, casual and constant. But this feels different. Weighted. Together, I repeat softly. He squeezes my hand. You're not just the surrogate, Naima. You're my best friend. You've been my best friend for 15 years. That doesn't change when the baby comes. But it does. It has to. Because I can't keep doing this. Living in his house, helping raise his daughter, pretending I don't want more. Pretending every touch doesn't destroy me a little bit more. I pull my hand away gently. I should start dinner. Something flickers across his face, hurt maybe. You don't have to cook. We can order. I want to. I need to move, need to do something with my hands, need to not sit here holding his hand while my heart tears itself apart. In the kitchen, I pull out ingredients for stir-fry. Jae-min follows, leaning against the counter, watching me chop vegetables. You never answered my question earlier, he says. What question? Whether you think I look at you differently. My knife slips, nearly taking off a finger. Jae-min. I'm serious. Hannah said it and I can't stop thinking about it.
Doi.
I focus very hard on the bell pepper I'm massacring. How am I supposed to know how you look at me? You know me better than anyone. That's true. I know he chews his lip when he's concentrating. I know he can't fall asleep without reading at least one chapter of a book. I know he takes scalding hot showers when he's stressed and goes completely silent when he's truly angry. And I know the way he looks at me. Tender and careful, and something else I'm too afraid to name. You look at me like a friend. I lie. Just a friend. The question hangs in the air between us, dangerous and loaded. I can feel his eyes on me, can sense him moving closer. What else would you look at me as? I ask, keeping my voice light. Casual. Like my heart isn't pounding so hard I can hear it in my ears. He doesn't answer. When I finally risk a glance at him, he's staring at me with an expression I've never seen before. Something raw and confused and desperate. I don't know, he says finally. That's the problem. Drop a comment if you're feeling this tension because things are about to get even more complicated. Dinner is quiet. We eat the stir-fry I made and Jae-min compliments it 3 times like he always does, and we talk about safe things. His surgery schedule. My next prenatal appointment. Whether we should get blackout curtains for the nursery. We don't talk about Hannah or his mother or the way he looked at me in the kitchen like he was trying to solve an equation that didn't add up. After dinner, he insists on doing the dishes. I'm drying when my phone rings.
Kendra.
I let it go to voicemail. It rings again immediately. You should answer, Jae-min says. She's going to keep calling.
He's right.
I step into the living room. What, Kendra? Oh, so you're alive. I was starting to think you'd been kidnapped.
I've fine.
Just busy. Busy living with your baby daddy and pretending you're not in love with him? I glance toward the kitchen. Jae-min's running water, hopefully too loud to hear. Can we not do this right now? When then? When you're in labor. When you're handing over the baby and realizing you're also giving up any chance of having him. There was never a chance, Ken. Bullshit. Naima, I've watched you two for 15 years. The way he looks at you. He doesn't look at me anyway. We're friends. Friends don't look at each other like they're drowning and the other person is air. My throat tightens. You're wrong. Am I? Have you seen the way he touches you? The way he talks about you? Girl, when you were in the hospital for that scare at 4 months, he called me crying.
Actual tears.
Said he couldn't lose you. I remember that day. Bleeding that turned out to be nothing serious, but they kept me overnight for observation. Jae-min stayed the entire time, sleeping in the chair next to my bed, holding my hand through every test. He was scared for the baby. He was scared for you. He barely asked about the baby until they confirmed you were okay. Kendra's voice softens.
Naima.
You have to tell him. And say what? Hey, I know I'm your surrogate and this is supposed to be professional, but I've been in love with you since we were 22 and every day in this house is torture. That'll go great. Better than suffering in silence. I'm not suffering.
I've fine.
You're crying. I touch my face. She's right. I have to go. Naima. I hang up, wipe my face, take 3 deep breaths. When I walk back into the kitchen, Jae-min takes one look at me and frowns. You okay?
Fine.
Just Kendra being Kendra. He doesn't believe me. I can tell. But he doesn't push. Instead, he says, "Want to watch something? I downloaded that documentary you mentioned."
This is our routine.
After dinner, we watch TV or read or work on the nursery. Domestic and comfortable and slowly killing me. Tonight, I can't do it. Actually, I'm tired. I think I'll head to bed early. Concern flashes across his face. Is everything all right? The baby's fine.
I'm fine.
Just a long day. I escape to my room, the guest room, carefully neutral with its beige walls and generic artwork. Nothing like the rest of the house. Nothing like the nursery down the hall. I take a shower, change into pajamas, and lie in bed staring at the ceiling. The baby kicks, a firm nudge against my ribs. I press my hand there. "Your dad is a good man," I whisper. "He's going to love you so much. You're going to have a beautiful room and all the books you could want, and a father who'll defend you against anyone, even his own mother." Another kick. I wish I could stay. I wish I could be your mom for real. But that's not how this works. My voice cracks. I'm crying again, silent tears sliding into my hair. There's a soft knock on my door. I sit up quickly, wiping my face. "Yeah." Jae-min opens the door a crack. "Sorry, I wanted to make sure you're okay. You seemed upset."
I'm fine.
He pushes the door open wider. He's in his pajamas too, flannel pants and an old t-shirt. His hair is damp from his own shower.
Naima.
"Talk to me." There's nothing to talk about. He steps into the room. "You've been weird all evening. Ever since I told you about Hannah. If you're worried about the custody thing, it's not that. Then what? Everything. Nothing. The fact that I love you and you don't love me back, and I'm carrying your baby, and in 3 months I'll have to leave and I don't know how to survive it. I'm just tired," I say instead. He sits on the edge of my bed, uninvited but not unwelcome. "You're a terrible liar." "I'm an excellent liar. You just know me too well."
Exactly.
"So tell me what's wrong." I look at him, really look at him. At the concern in his dark eyes, the way his hair is sticking up because he always towel dries it too roughly, the way he's sitting close enough that I could touch him if I wanted to. I always want to. "Kendra thinks I should tell you something," I hear myself say. "Tell me what?" This is it. This is the moment. I could say it. I could tell him the truth and maybe. My phone buzzes on the nightstand. A text from an unknown number. This is Hannah.
We need to talk.
"Meet me tomorrow, 2 p.m., the coffee shop on 5th Street. Come alone." The moment shatters. Jae-min sees my face change. "What is it?" I hand him my phone. Watch him read the message. Watch his expression harden. "You're not going," he says immediately. "I think I should."
Naima, no.
She doesn't get to summon you like. Maybe she wants to explain. Maybe she'll drop the custody thing if we just talk. Or maybe she wants to blame you for the divorce. His voice is tight. "I won't let her hurt you." She can't hurt me. Another lie. Hannah could destroy me with a single sentence. All she'd have to do is tell Jae-min that she left because she knew I was in love with him, that she saw it from the beginning, that this whole situation is my fault. And she'd be right. "I'm going," I say quietly. "Tomorrow. And I'm going alone." Jae-min looks like he wants to argue. Instead, he says, "Fine. But I'm driving you there and waiting in the parking lot." Jae-min.
Non negotiable, Naima.
Those are my terms. We stare at each other for a long moment. Finally, I nod. "Okay." He stands, and I think he's going to leave. Instead, he reaches down and gently touches my belly. The baby kicks immediately, like she knows her father's hand. "Whatever she says tomorrow," he says softly, "it doesn't change anything. You're safe here. You're wanted here." Wanted. The word echoes in my head long after he leaves, long after I turn off the light and try to sleep. Wanted as what? A friend? A surrogate? Something more? I don't have an answer. And tomorrow, when I sit across from Hannah and hear whatever truth she's been holding back, I'm terrified I'm going to find out. The coffee shop on 5th Street is the kind of place Hannah would choose, minimalist, expensive, intimidatingly hip. I feel out of place in my maternity jeans and oversized sweater, my 6-month belly announcing itself before I even walk through the door. Jae-min insisted on coming, true to his word. He's in the parking lot, watching through the window like a bodyguard. I told him it was ridiculous. He told me he didn't care. Hannah is already seated at a corner table, looking exactly like I remember. Sleek black hair, perfect posture, designer clothes that probably cost more than my monthly rent. She's drinking something green and leafy that I'm sure is very good for you and tastes like grass. She sees me and stands. For a second, we just stare at each other. The ex-wife and the surrogate. The woman who left and the woman who stayed. "Thank you for coming," she says. Her voice is steady, controlled. Everything about Hannah is controlled. "You said we needed to talk."
Seat.
"Please." I lower myself into the chair across from her, one hand instinctively going to my belly. Her eyes follow the movement, and something flickers across her face. Pain, maybe. Regret. "You look good," she says. "Pregnancy suits you." "Hannah, why am I here?" She takes a breath. "I'm dropping the custody petition." Whatever I expected, it wasn't that.
What? Why?
"Because I don't actually want shared custody. I never did." She sets down her drink, and her hands are shaking slightly. The first crack in her perfect facade. "My lawyer suggested it as leverage for the divorce settlement. I went along with it because I was angry. At Jae-min. At both of you." She meets my eyes. But mostly at myself. The coffee shop is busy around us. Laptops clacking, espresso machines hissing, conversations humming. But our corner feels isolated.
Private.
"I don't understand," I say. "I know he's in love with you," Hannah says simply. "I've known since our wedding day." The words hit me like a physical blow. "That's not. We're just." "Don't." Her voice is sharp. "Please don't insult both of us by pretending. I've spent 4 years watching my husband be in love with someone else. I know what it looks like." My throat is so tight I can barely breathe. "If you thought that, why did you marry him?" "Because I thought I could make him forget you. I thought if I was perfect enough, successful enough, beautiful enough." She laughs bitterly. "I was so arrogant. I actually believed love was something you could earn through effort." "Hannah, when we couldn't get pregnant, I told myself it was a sign. That we weren't meant to be. But Jae-min wanted a baby so badly, and I thought maybe that would be the thing that finally made him choose me. Really choose me." She looks down at her hands. "Then I suggested surrogacy, and he immediately said your name." I remember that conversation. Jae-min called me at midnight, voice raw with emotion. "Hannah and I have been trying for 3 years. She can't carry a baby. Would you, God, Naima, I know it's a huge ask, but would you consider being our surrogate?" And I said yes. Because I'm an idiot who can't say no to him. Because some self-destructive part of me wanted to give him something his wife couldn't. "I should have said no," Hannah continues. "The moment he suggested you, I should have walked away. But I told myself it was fine. It was just biology. Just a medical procedure." Her voice breaks slightly. "Then I saw the two of you at the first ultrasound. I remember that too. Jae-min holding my hand while the technician moved the wand across my belly. The first time we heard the heartbeat. The way he looked at me, wonder and joy and something deeper I was too afraid to name. He looked at you the way he was supposed to look at me," Hannah says quietly. "And I realized I'd already lost. I just didn't want to admit it. If this is breaking your heart, hit that like button because we're not done yet." "I didn't try to take him from you," I say. My voice sounds hollow. "I never." "I know. That's what makes it worse." She finally looks at me again. "You didn't have to try. You just existed and that was enough. Do you know how that feels? To watch your husband fall in love with someone who isn't even trying." "He's not in love with me." "Yes, he is. And you're in love with him too. Don't bother denying it. I can see it all over your face." Tears are burning behind my eyes. I will not cry in front of her. I won't. "Why are you telling me this?" I ask. Because I'm tired of being the villain in someone else's love story. She reaches into her purse and pulls out an envelope. These are the signed custody release forms. The baby is his. Legally, officially, completely. I want nothing to do with her. Hannah, you can't just… Yes, I can. I'm not her mother, Naima. I never was. I was just the woman who couldn't give my husband what he wanted. She slides the envelope across the table. You are. I'm the surrogate. That's all. Keep telling yourself that. She stands, gathering her bag. For what it's worth, I hope you two figured out. I hope you stop wasting time pretending you don't love each other. Because life is too short to spend it lying to yourself. Trust me. She leaves before I can respond. I sit there, staring at the envelope, my hands shaking so badly I can barely pick it up. The baby kicks hard, like she's protesting. Or agreeing. I can't tell anymore. My phone buzzes.
Jae-min, you okay?
That looked intense. I type back. Coming out now. When I get to the car, he takes one look at my face and immediately pulls me into a hug. It's awkward with my belly between us, but I don't care. I bury my face in his chest and try not to fall apart. What did she say? He asks softly. She's dropping the custody petition. I pull back, hand him the envelope. She signed everything over. The baby is yours. He opens it, scans the documents. I don't understand. Why now?
Because she knows you're in love with me.
Because she's tired of competing with a ghost. Because she finally accepted what I've been denying for months. She said she wants to move on. I say instead. It's not a lie. Just not the whole truth. Jae-min is quiet the whole drive home. I can see him processing, trying to make sense of it. When we pull into the driveway, he turns to me. There's something you're not telling me. Of course there is. There are 1,000 things I'm not telling him. She said some things about the marriage. About why she left. It wasn't my place to share. Did she blame you?
No.
She blamed herself mostly. He reaches over and takes my hand. Our fingers thread together automatically, familiar and comfortable and excruciating. I'm sorry you had to deal with that. You shouldn't have to carry the weight of our failed marriage. I'm literally carrying the product of your marriage, Jae-min. I think I'm already involved. He laughs, but it's strained. Fair point. We sit in the car, hands linked, not moving. The baby kicks against my ribs, and Jae-min feels it through our joined hands. She's active today, he says. She's always active when you're around. I think she knows your voice. Good. I want her to know me. His thumb traces circles on my palm. I want her to know you too.
She will.
I'm not going anywhere until she's born. And after? The question I've been avoiding for 6 months. After, you'll be her dad. You'll do great. That's not what I ask. I pull my hand away gently. We should go inside. I need to lie down. Naima. Please, Jae-min. Not right now. He looks like he wants to push, but he doesn't. He just nods and helps me out of the car, his hand on my lower back as we walk to the door. Inside, I head straight for my room. I need space. I need to think. I need to figure out how to survive the next 3 months when Hannah's words keep echoing in my head. I know he's in love with you. It's not true. It can't be true. Because if it is, then I've wasted 15 years. If it is, then everything I thought I knew about us is wrong. If it is, then I have to tell him the truth. I'm lying in bed, hand on my belly, when there's a knock on my door. Naima? Can I come in? I'm resting. He opens the door anyway. I need to talk to you.
Jae-min, I'm tired.
Why did you really offer to be our surrogate? The question stops me cold. He's standing in the doorway, and there's something different about him. Determined. Almost desperate. Because you needed help and I could provide it. That's the answer you've been giving everyone for 6 months. I want the real one. That is the real one. Bullshit. He steps into the room, closes the door behind him. I've known you for 15 years, Naima. I know when you're lying. My heart is pounding so hard I'm surprised he can't hear it. Why does it matter? Because Hannah said something to me before she left. She said you were in love with me. That you had been for years. And I need to know if that's true. The room tilts. Everything slows down. This is it. This is the moment where everything either falls apart or comes together. What did you tell her? I ask quietly. I told her she was wrong. That we were just friends. That you'd never. He stops, runs a hand through his hair. But then I started thinking about it. Really thinking. And I realized I don't actually know. Because you've never said. In 15 years, you've never told me how you feel about me. You never ask. I'm asking now. I close my eyes. I can do this. I can tell him the truth and survive whatever comes next. Except I can't. Because if I tell him and he doesn't feel the same way, I'll have to leave. And I can't leave. Not yet. Not when I still have 3 months of carrying his daughter. 3 months of living in his house. 3 months of pretending this life could be mine. We're friends, I say. That's all we've ever been. The silence that follows is suffocating. You're lying, he says finally. His voice is rough. Why are you lying? I'm not. Yes, you are. I can see it in your face. In the way you won't look at me. In the way your hands are shaking. He crosses to the bed, sits on the edge. Naima, please. Just tell me the truth.
Why?
What difference does it make? Because I need to know if I've been an idiot for 15 years. The words burst out of him, raw and desperate. I need to know if the reason I couldn't make my marriage work is because I've been in love with my best friend the entire time. The world stops. What? I breathe. He's looking at me with those dark eyes, and they're full of something I've never seen before. Fear and hope and longing all tangled together. I married Hannah because I thought you didn't want me, he says. Back in residency, I tried to tell you how I felt. I brought you coffee and sat with you and thought maybe you felt it too. But then you called me your best friend and said you didn't want to ruin it, and I thought that was your way of letting me down easy. That's not, I didn't mean. I know that now. Or, at least I think I do. Because Hannah was right about one thing. The way I look at you, it's not the way you look at a friend. My breath is coming in short gasps. The baby is kicking frantically, responding to my elevated heart rate. Jae-min, you can't say things like this. I'm your surrogate. I'm carrying your baby. We can't. Why not? Because it's complicated. Because, what if you're just confused? What if this is just proximity and hormones and... I've been in love with you since I was 22 years old, Naima. That's not proximity. That's not hormones. That's just the truth I've been too afraid to admit. Tears are streaming down my face now. I can't stop them. You married someone else. Because I thought I couldn't have you. Because I was a coward. He reaches out, wipes my tears with his thumb. I'm done being a coward. So I'm asking you one more time. Are you in love with me? Comment below if you need a moment to breathe, because I know I do. This is it. No more hiding. No more pretending. Yes, I whisper. I've been in love with you since the first night you brought me coffee at 2 in the morning. I've been in love with you through every shift we worked together, every late-night conversation, every moment of your wedding to someone else. I offered to be your surrogate because I wanted to give you something she couldn't. Because I'm selfish and stupid, and I thought maybe if I did this, you'd finally see me. The words are pouring out now, 15 years of them. And now I'm carrying your daughter and living in your house and falling more in love with you every single day, and it's killing me because I know when this is over, I'll have to leave. I'll have to watch you find someone else and raise this baby with them, and I don't know how to survive that. He's staring at me like I've just answered every question he's ever had. You're not leaving, he says. Jae-min, you're not leaving. Not after the baby comes. Not ever. Unless you want to, but even then I'm going to fight like hell to convince you to stay. This is crazy. You're not thinking clearly. I'm thinking clearly for the first time in 15 years. He moves closer, his hand settling on my belly where our daughter is doing acrobatics. I love you. I've always loved you. And if you'll let me, I want to raise this baby with you. Not as the surrogate and the father. As parents. Together. She's not mine. The contract. Screw the contract. She's yours if you want her to be. Because she's been yours from the moment you agreed to carry her. Because you're the one who's going to bring her into this world. Because I can't imagine doing this with anyone else. I'm sobbing now, ugly crying, barely able to breathe. What if it doesn't work? What if we ruin our friendship? Naima, we've been more than friends for 15 years. We've just been too scared to admit it. He leans closer, his forehead resting against mine. I don't want to be scared anymore.
Do you? No. God, no.
I'm so tired of being scared. Kiss me, I whisper.
He does.
It's soft and desperate and tastes like salt from my tears. His hand is still on my belly, our daughter kicking between us like she approves. When we finally break apart, we're both crying. I love you, he says again. I'm sorry it took me so long to say it. I love you too. I'm sorry I didn't tell you in residency. We're both idiots. The biggest idiots. He laughs, and it's the most beautiful sound I've ever heard. Then he kisses me again, slower this time. Tender and full of promise. When we finally pull apart, he says, "Move into my room." What? The master bedroom.
Move in with me.
No more guest room. No more pretending. He's looking at me with those eyes that have been breaking my heart for 15 years. I want to fall asleep next to you. I want to wake up with you. I want to feel her kick in the middle of the night and know we're all together. That's a big step. We're having a baby together, Naima. I think we're past small steps.
He's right.
We've been past small steps since the moment I agreed to carry his child. Okay, I say.
Yes.
I'll move in with you. His smile could light up the entire city. He kisses me again and again, and again, like he's making up for 15 years of missed opportunities. I want to marry you, he says against my lips. Not right now, I know that's too fast. But someday, when you're ready, I want you to be my wife for real. Your mother is going to lose her mind. I don't care. Let her lose her mind. You're the one I choose. You're the one I've always chosen, even when I was too stupid to realize it. The baby kicks hard, and we both laugh. I think she agrees, I say. She has good taste. Takes after her mother. Mother. He called me her mother. I start crying again, and he holds me through it, whispering promises against my hair. Promises of a future I never thought I'd have. A future where I get to keep both of them. It's not the way I imagined it would happen. Not the straightforward love story with a clear beginning, middle, and end.
We took the long way around.
We made mistakes. We hurt people, including ourselves. But we're here now. And that's what matters. What do we tell people? I ask. About us.
About the baby.
The truth. That we've been in love for 15 years, and we're finally done pretending. That we're raising our daughter together. That we're a family. Family. The word settles into my chest, warm and permanent. Our daughter. I repeat softly. Our daughter, he confirms. If you want her to be. I want her to be. I've wanted her to be, since the moment I felt her kick for the first time. He kisses my forehead, my cheeks, my lips. Then she's ours. We'll figure out the legal stuff later. Right now, I just want to hold you. So that's what we do. He climbs into bed next to me, carefully arranging us so my belly is comfortable, and pulls me against his chest. His hand splays across my stomach, and our daughter kicks against his palm like she knows everything has changed. I can't believe this is real, I whisper. Believe it. I'm not letting you go. Not ever. We lie there in the quiet, feeling the baby move, breathing in sync. 15 years of longing, 6 months of living together, and finally, we're exactly where we're supposed to be. If you made it to the end of this journey, drop a comment and let me know what you thought. And hit subscribe, because if you love this story, you'll love what's coming next. Asterisk, asterisk. Jae-min, I say softly. Yeah. Thank you for being too stubborn to give up on me. Thank you for loving me even when I was too blind to see it. Our daughter kicks one more time, like she's sealing the deal. And for the first time in 15 years, I let myself believe in happy endings.